right, hello everybody, and welcome to Daily with Doc. My name is Becca Dukes, and as the hostess of this program, I welcome you to join us live Wednesday, Thursday, Friday from 12 to 1 p.m. Pacific time by going to our Zoom room. Go to dailywithdoczoom.com. That's dailywithdoczoom.com, and you will be in our waiting room and join us here live with our Zoom. Now, this program is being brought to you by dailywithdoc.com, which is the great place for you to be able to check out a lot of the stuff that you're going to be hearing about today on this program. We have replays there. We have helpful documents and tips and tidbits and all kinds of stuff on our website, including a way that you can submit and ask questions and request to be put on our email list. So make sure you go to dailywithdoc.com. There is a place where you can submit comments when you're submitting for our email list. And if you have questions about what you can do to, for yourself, your family members, someone you know, love, you can submit those questions there, and we will get them up in front of Dr. Wallach and get some answers for you in regards to what you can do as an empowered individual nutritionally to help yourself. So that's what this program is all about, doing it yourself, because there's so many things that we can do ourselves, that health does not have to be complicated. In fact, health is simple. And when you give the body what it needs, the body itself can do some amazing things. Now, this program is not meant to take the place of your primary care physician. Dr. Wally's giving me the thumbs up. You can't see him yet, but he's waiting, ready to get going. But this program is not meant to take the place of your primary care physician, nor is it meant to or intended to diagnose, treat, or cure any diseases, nor are the products. But folks, like I said, when you give the body what it needs, the body itself can do some amazing, amazing things. And that includes making U-turns. If you are on a path to poor health, U-turns are allowed, folks, and we are here to help you and guide you in finding what is needed to help you successfully make a safe U-turn. So if you are here live with us and you would like to ask a question, make sure that you raise your hand early. After Dr. Wallach and I talk a little bit about today's subject, then we are going to be calling on people and addressing the things that they bring as far as what can be done about health conditions. Now, we look at symptoms. So if you've got this great big long title in a condition, we want to know what symptoms you're experiencing, okay? Because there are over 600 different poor health conditions or symptoms related to nutritional deficiencies. No matter what name you give it, you got symptoms. And that's what we are going to be talking about today. Now, if you are out on YouTube or Rumble or Facebook or Amazon Music or Spotify, and you'd like to join us live, please feel free to do so. And anywhere you are plugging in and listening and watching, let us know that you're there. Make sure that you follow Daily with Doc or Critical Health News, depending on which channel you're on, and send us a comment. Let us know that you're there. Send us a like, a love, and most importantly, you didn't hear this information just by happenstance. Share it with others that you care about and love. Well, my name again is Becca Dukes, and as the Director of Student Services for the Institute of Holistic Health, I am pleased to be able to present to you, and actually, I don't know if it's present is the right word, but to be able to have time with this gentleman and just continue to glean off of all of his research and wisdom and clinical experience in helping people overcome those conditions, those symptoms that plague us, and many times have been told us to be epigenetics. It is my honor to be able to share with you one of the founders of the science of epigenetics that has proven the theory of disease transmission to be incorrect. And he tells all about it in this book, Epigenetics. So, Dr. Wallach, welcome to Daily with Doc.
Oh, thank
How are
you.
you today?
Fine, fine. Thank you for the kind introduction. All the wonderful, great things you do in the world. We're so very proud of you and our association with you. Thank you. Can't thank you enough.
Thank you.
Well, it's a great team you and our group do, and so we're very proud of you. And of course, in addition to epigenetics, I want people to pay attention to the book Let's Play Doctor. Okay, Let's Play Doctor.
Right here. I
There
got
you
that
go.
one.
This is to help you and your family know as much as the doctors know, maybe more in some cases, and
I'm
to
holding it up, Doc. You can put
okay,
yours.
and to um, uh, be able to prevent, treat symptoms, and reverse and cure these diseases. This book, Epigenetics, and the book Let's Play Doctor, and there's the Wallach Revolution. Another one that's a big one is Dead Doctors Don't Lie. Okay, that's a big one. There you go. Big book and CD. That book, Dead Doctors Don't Lie, the book and the CD sold over, what is it, like 20 million copies? It's like crazy.
Oh, it's well, this version right here, it's 350 million
Oh,
copies, Dr.
well, there you
Wallach,
go.
of the Dead Doctors Don't Lie, your audio tape CD. And this print is several years old, and I think the date or the number now is over 400,000.
Thousand or
So there's
million?
a lot of
Thousand, wait a
people.
minute, thousand or million?
Million.
Yeah, thank you.
See, I've got your back, you've got my back. But there's a lot of people that have heard this message that's shared in the Dead Doctors Don't Lie, which, sometimes the title can be a little scary.
Well,
But
it's meant to tell people the truth. When you deal with literally thousands of dead people, and you're seeing all the pathology there that's totally preventable and reversible, and they wind up on the autopsy table. This is something that grabs you and says this has got to be shared because we have to save these people. The doctors are missing it. It's not that they're evil, but they just don't get enough training to know these things. And so this is why we came up with these books. We have 23 of them. We have the newest one is the flip chart. Okay, and we have another one coming along here pretty soon. I'm going to take about 5 minutes here, and then I'm going to turn it over to you so you can lead into the subject of today, okay?
you got 2 minutes
2
because we've
minutes,
got
okay.
lots of hands up, Doc.
Okay, 2 minutes. Okay, I want to quickly talk about Parkinson's disease. Parkinson's disease is a very terrible disease. The government, the U.S. government just came out a couple of weeks ago and said we now have a significant increase in Parkinson's disease diagnosis. 90,000 new Parkinson's disease cases diagnosed each year in America. 90,000 each year in America, Parkinson's disease, okay? Now, the reason why it's a very interesting story, the pathology in the brain and spinal cord of people with Parkinson's disease is the same as CWD, chronic wasting disease in deer. And the experts in CWD, the medical experts, want you to believe that this is going to jump onto humans and wipe out humanity and all this kind of stuff. And they want to kill all the deer so that the CWD, chronic wasting disease, prion, which is supposed to be an infectious bug, there's no such thing as a prion, is taken care of. Okay, so CWD, chronic wasting disease. We have a video documentary. You can go to Search for the internet, get the internet, CWD video documentary. We'll send it to you for free. Tells the whole story. It's just like very scary. And of course, we have the story of the Parkinson's disease. And so we want you to get I-26. I-26 will rebuild the brain and the spinal cord. There's a long story with that. And it's a very simple disease to prevent. It's a very simple disease to cure. But if you think it's a bug called the prions, and there's no way to cure it with an antibiotic, they want to kill all the deer. And what are they going to do with the people with the disease? Okay, they're going to kill the people with disease. And that's what some of these folks are talking about. So it's a very simple thing. Again, you're going to hear this over and over. Go to the internet, find the CWD video documentary, and that plus the story of Parkinson's disease, increase of 90,000 new cases a year in America alone. We are going to solve this thing, okay? So over to you, Rebecca.
Dr. Wallach, 2
Yes.
minutes. You did great.
Well,
And it is very important because there's so many people that are coming up with these symptoms and they're just being treated for the symptoms, given no hope. And when you become a diagnosis, your body's going to want to basically, okay, so think about this. You got a great kid and you keep telling them that they're great, they're going to continue to be great, right? But if you have one that sometimes it's like, oh, you're always, focus on the things, no matter how good they are, you focus on the things that are not right, then they're going to start being more of that not right, because that's where the focus is going. So folks, we need to really not become the label or what we are tagged as, because we said, we've been told by a doctor, oh, you have this, this, and this. No, I don't have it. It's something that may be going on because of symptoms in my body, but I'm not going to accept it. There's things that you can do. And that's what this program is all about, is allowing you the opportunity to hear that you yourself are more empowered than others want you to believe. So I'll get off my soapbox now. But thank you, Dr. Wallach, for sharing that, because in the flip chart, which is actually publication number 24, Doc.
Okay.
We do have a case report where a woman has followed Dr. Wallach's recommendations. And after only 2.5 months of being on Dr. Wallach's recommendations, when she went for her yearly follow-up after being diagnosed with the condition of Parkinson's for the previous 11 years, on year 12, she no longer had any symptoms, and they took her off medications that she had been on for so many years. And she's super excited. She was very ecstatic and was willing to allow us to share her experience as a case study in the 90 for Life crusade to save humanity and the world. So we encourage you all to get the flip chart. There's lots of testimonials also in this flip chart. You can go to drjwallach.com. Again, that's drjwallach.com, and you will find Dr. Wallach's Dr. Wallach's publications there. Now, I've had people say, well, how come you always talk about Dr. Wallach's books? Well, Dr. Wallach has done all of this research and has taken the time to put it into something that we can actually read, have our hands on, use a resource. Because folks, if we can't access information, then it's even more difficult to be able to share that information. And that's one of the reasons why we are taking this program on all the different platforms, including Apple TV, Roku TV, Fire TV. We want to make sure that everybody has the opportunity to be able to hear and then implement the information that is shared on the Daily with Doc show. So Dr. Wallach, are
Yes, ma'am.
you ready to talk about viruses and lungs?
Yes, I just want to say one more thing, if I may. It'd be very brief, very, very brief.
Okay.
Okay. Um, According to the United Nations, America ranks 47th in the world when it comes to longevity. There's 40, what, 40, 40 or 56 other nations whose peoples live longer than us. We're supposed to have the best healthcare system in the world. Our healthcare system has failed us. Okay. According to the United Nations, that's not me, that's the United Nations. We rank 47th in the world in longevity. There's 46 other countries whose peoples live longer than us. It's unimaginable. It just doesn't match anything that the medical doctors have been telling us. Okay. So this is why what you're going to be bringing up here is so important, because it deals with our kids. And I want you to go ahead and start it, and I'll kind of tap in where I can, but you have all the data, so I'm going to let you start out. Okay.
All right. Well, Dr. Wallach, something that's kind of near and dear to my heart, because I have two granddaughters who have experienced lung issues almost since birth. And that is with a condition that's called RSV. Now, RSV is respiratory, and I'm going to just cut this up. Let's see, help me out, Doc.
Sensation.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I gave you 2/3 of it.
Syncytial.
Consensual. Yeah. There you go.
Got it right. Virus. So respiratory syncytial virus, also known as RSV. And it's a common respiratory virus that usually causes some mild cold-like symptoms. But for some people, it can be even worse. And where, like a common cold, which could be caused by a virus, you have a couple days, a week or so that you can overcome. But for this RSV, there are people that are being told that once they have it, they always have it, or hopefully they'll grow out of it. So, Dr. Wallach, tell us about viruses that can, settle in the lungs. What are the viruses? Is it something that once you have, you always have? I mean, there's so many questions. And I know that, we have parents that have this concern, and they're intelligent, they're brilliant people, but what they're being told, including now having a vaccine for it, is that necessary?
I think it's one of those things where when you look at the number of species of fish in the world, some are tasty to eat, some are blech to eat, some are vicious and eat other animals, some are plant-eating fish, and there's a whole variety of fish. Okay, you can get just about any question answered you want about fish when you look at fish. Okay, the same thing is true with humanity. The same thing is true with birds. The same thing is true with viruses. I mean, we have rabies. Okay, is a virus. Okay, we have simple pneumonias, which cause acute or very quick lung infections, which kill you. We have viruses that cause paralysis. Okay, we have viruses that do many, many things. There's hundreds of species of viruses. Okay, and they're difficult to kill, because if you kill the virus, oftentimes you'll kill the host. Okay, because they live inside the host cells and this kind of stuff. And it's you go back into history, all the plagues and things that wiped out nations, a couple of thousand years ago, a plague would come into an area and wipe everybody out. Okay, and mosquitoes would carry, the virus wouldn't kill the mosquitoes, but the mosquitoes would carry the virus from one person to the next and so forth. And so they came up with vaccines, even for rabies. They have vaccines for rabies. And it's one of those things where we learned how to survive viral communities, I guess is the way I want to put it. These viral communities are never going to go away. And if you have them in certain areas, because the carriers are there, mosquitoes for malaria, and it's an endless thing, okay, of all the different associations that we have with bugs, and including viruses and parasites and bacteria and so forth. And the mosquitoes can carry them.
But what about this virus, which has symptoms of a common cold?
Okay, well, the common cold is very similar. It's kind of like, um, let's look at birds. You have hummingbirds, you have pigeons, you have crows, you have eagles, and you have the birds,
Ostriches.
the ostriches. Yeah,
Going real small and bigger, bigger, bigger. Let's just go
exactly,
ostrich.
ostriches. There you go. And so the same thing is true with these viruses. And the odds of us eliminating viruses as a threat to humanity completely is the possibility that's pretty low. Okay,
Mm.
because they vary, they adapt so quickly, and there's literally hundreds and hundreds of species of viruses that carry everything from the common cold, like this. Was it RSV virus you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. The RSV virus is a common cold. It's around all the time, and the kids get the sniffles and they get the coughs and the hiccups, and they get rattling when they're breathing because they're getting edema in their lungs and so forth. But for most people, this virus doesn't kill them; it just makes them miserable.
Right.
Okay. Now, the other piece that happens is when you get an infection with this type of virus, okay, it lowers your immune system. And if something else comes along at the same time that's a little more dangerous, you're going to be hit hard because your immunity has been sort of reduced because of this infection with this less fatal virus, but it will lower your immunity. And that's the danger of this virus. It lowers your immunity to the possibility of something more dangerous.
So with any virus, building a strong immune system is important.
That is correct. You have to defend yourself. Even if you have been vaccinated, you still have to defend yourself. Okay. If you have a rabies vaccination, you can't let a rabid dog bite you. Okay. Okay. Because um, the vaccination protects you against certain strains of the rabies virus and certain populations of rabies virus. But when you get a big load, it's going to overcome the vaccination and kill you. Okay. So just being vaccinated isn't, a pure 100% guarantee you're not going to get something. Okay. And so this is something we have to take care of ourselves. We have to take care of our family, our neighbors, our workmates, our church mates, our community, our world. And this is why we came up with the flip chart to save humanity and the world. Because all of these things that we've seen in all these years, these 24 books. Okay, now there's going to be another book coming out. I'm already working on that, and this book is working on the Parkinson's disease and the CWD. This is a big story. This is a big story. Okay, it's kind of like the rabies story. It's kind of like the story of things that like mosquitoes transmits diseases. They didn't know that back in the old days. They didn't know mosquitoes transmitted stuff. But then when they
Right.
did, they started putting up screen doors and sprays for getting rid of mosquitoes because they couldn't get rid of the viruses, but they could get rid of the mosquitoes or prevent the mosquitoes from biting you. And so there's all these things going on, and it's never going to end because we have all these things popping up. And so right now, especially because we rank 47 in the world, we've had some work to do. And so this next book coming out is going to be this whole big thing to do with Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, multiple sclerosis, MS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, ALS. These 4 diseases kill hundreds of thousands of people every year.
Right.
Okay. And The medical system has failed us. They give you drugs to make you feel good as you're dying. They give you drugs to relieve pain as you're dying, but they haven't eliminated the problem because every year it shows up, okay? Or every other year it shows up, and you get 3 of them show up in the same year, you're in big trouble, okay? And so these are the sort of things that this book we're working on is going to come out, and it's going to be as big as getting rid of rabies. This is going to be as big as getting rid of malaria. This is going to be, as big as getting rid of heart attacks, because it affects people of all ages, from all countries, all races. It doesn't matter what color your skin is. It doesn't matter how old you are. But we know the answer. Now it's just a matter of finding all the little pieces so we're not wasting our time or other people's time. We are going to fill every little notch so that when the book comes out, it's going to end the plague of these diseases that are myelin deficiency diseases, or deficiency diseases, myelin deficiency diseases. Okay, because doctors told people 100 years ago that plugged arteries are due to cholesterol. So they told people, stop taking cholesterol, stop eating cholesterol, stop eating butter, stop eating meat, stop eating this, anything with cholesterol in it. No, they were wrong by a million miles. Okay, it wasn't cholesterol causing the problem.
Right.
It was
But
the
let's go back.
frying. It was the frying of the cholesterol that caused the problem. If you would eat it medium rare, no problem. But if you deep fried animal fats and you change the cholesterol into a problematic burnt fat, it would cause things like cancer. It would cause things like Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, MS, ALS, many other diseases. And this was all caused by doctors telling people not to eat cholesterol anymore. Cholesterol is, your brain needs it. Your brain requires cholesterol to make myelin in your brain and your spinal cord. And it's all done in the liver. Liver does 50 different things, one of which is convert cholesterol into myelin. The liver converts it into myelin, goes through your bloodstream, and your brain captures it.
So, Dr. Wallach, I need to circle back around into the viruses because we have several questions that are coming up about
Okay.
RSV. One of them is viruses are said to not be alive. How then are they contagious?
Well, they don't have hearts. They don't have blood systems. They don't have lungs or anything like that. They get their nutrition through their skin. They're getting the nutrition from your bloodstream, from your lymphatics. So they're getting their nutrition from you. Okay. And so they're a species of creatures, but they're not warm-blooded animals like rats and mice and birds and humans and elephants and things like that. They don't have hearts pumping blood around, and they don't have muscles pumping lymph around, that kind of stuff. They don't have livers to come up with bile to help them absorb certain things. They don't make acid in the stomach. They don't have a stomach. They're absorbing all their nutrients through their outside, okay? And they're a different kind of organism, so you have to look at them in a much different way, okay? And this is why sprays and things are so important. Get them while they're in the mosquitoes, okay?
Okay, so now there are some infants that within hours of being born are diagnosed with this RSV and this lung condition. And sometimes there's multiple babies in a family that have this. Is it genetic?
No, it's actually an infection. It's a viral infection, okay? And it could be in the father who's not showing any symptoms, but the viruses are happy because they're eating like little piggies. The daddy's eating all this food and the viruses are in his lungs. They're not giving any symptoms, but they're getting all the food. Now here comes these newborn babies. He's kissing these babies and hugging them. And now the viruses say, well, here's a newbie. And so viruses jump out of daddy into the baby. And it was the daddy who was carrying him for years.
Carrying the virus itself,
That's correct.
whether they have cold symptoms or not.
That's correct.
Okay.
because the
So,
daddy had some defense to prevent the viruses from reaching that disease state, but they're just sort of in there. Okay. But once the baby was born, the baby didn't have the ability to fight viruses. So viruses said, oh, this is our chance. And they jump into the baby and start growing and reproducing and causing symptoms, which they couldn't do in the daddy because he had all these antibodies.
he had built up the immunity
That's
or
correct.
immune system to help fight against it.
That's correct.
So now, with mom being the carrier of the baby, does her nutrition play into the fact that a baby could be more susceptible
That is
to
correct.
this?
That is correct because her nutrition supports her immunity. And if she has good immunity, she can pass it on to the baby. And when the baby breastfeeds, she's passing on those antibodies into the baby through the breast milk. Okay. But if she's not got enough nutrition, okay, for her body to form antibodies against those viruses, then she passes the viruses on to the babies.
All right. And one more question in regards to RSV, sorry, not RSVP. We're not reserving anything here, folks. We want to push it away. Can having a number of birds as pets be a problem with the RSV virus?
I don't know the answer to that question. I'll have to look that one up for you. Okay.
Okay.
But it could be, in some cases, there's creatures that can, which I say, support the transmission of a virus from one creature to the next. And they don't get the disease, not because they have antibodies against it, they just are not attractive to the virus. The virus is not interested in getting food from that carrier.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, thank you so much for that, Dr. Wallach. It's not hereditary. It's
No,
not something that just because you have one baby, the next baby is going to have it or be more susceptible to it either. Also, there are things that you can do now before even thinking about having little ones to help protect yourself and them through nutrition and diet and being intentional so that we do have healthier societies. And this is a condition that also can be or present itself at any stage in life, and mostly the young or the old, where the immune systems are not quite developed yet, or they are in decline. So you want to get Let's Play Doctor, Epigenetics, also what Dr. Wallach is holding up, two great books. In fact, Let's Play Doctor and Let's Play Herbal Doctor were the very first two books, Dr. Wallach, that I had purchased. And when I first found out about you, and then I found out about epigenetics, and epigenetics was actually like my second book of hope. Of course, the Bible is first, but the fact that epigenetics exists proved that all of these different conditions that others in my family had did not have to happen within me, even the ones that were said to already be there because of the symptoms that I was having. I was able to let go of all of that and be able to be here and be excited to be able to share this information with all the ears that is falling on right now. So, Dr. Wallach, thank you so much for that. And I just want to also, by popular demand and request, this program is also being heard on Brighteon. So we want to do a shout out to all of those listening and watching on Brighteon as well. And Dr. Wallach, we will never forget our radio audience, as that is where you started with the Dead Doctors Don't Lie show that ran for at least just over 2 decades.
that's right, over 20 years.
Yes, over 20 years. So fantastic. Well, again, folks, if somebody referred you to this program, make sure that you get back with them. Tell them what you like best about the program. And if you hear something that sparks your interest, make sure that you reach out and say, hey, can you tell me more about this or that or whatever? Because if they share this program with you, there is a possibility that they may possibly be associated with the company that Dr. Wallach originally established called Longevity. He has turned the reins over to this company, to his son and oldest son and daughter-in-law, and removed himself from it. So he does not make any money from Longevity specifically. His income comes from the sale of his books, and he wanted to be able to do that so people couldn't say, well, you're only pushing these products because you make a buck off of them. And that is not true. So we recommend, and we highly recommend, that you go to drjwallach.com and make a purchase with some of his books to help give you those resources that you can refer to often. Now, Dr. Wallach,
Yes,
are
ma'am.
you ready for some questions?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, let's first go to LaTanya. LaTanya, go ahead and unmute yourself. And if you'd like to come on camera, that would be fantastic.
Hi. I'm trying
Hi.
to get on camera.
Well,
I think I've
how
lost my
about
touch here.
now? I sent you a request to start your camera. So if you see that, otherwise, just go for it. What is your question for Dr. Wallach today?
Yes, I have a question for a friend of mine. Her brother's special needs. He's at stage 3 bladder cancer, and they want to remove the bladder. And they really don't want to do that because of his developmental delay. And the next option would be radiation of 20 treatments. What is your take on that?
I would get several opinions.
Okay.
From one hospital, I'd go to several of the big medical schools, like Harvard and Yale and stuff like that, University of California, University of Missouri, and University of Houston or Dallas, Texas, and get some feedback from them because they're dealing with hundreds of cases on a daily basis of these things, and they'll be able to answer that question with good information.
Okay, thank you. Do you recommend any of your products as far as getting some nutrients in his body?
Oh, absolutely. The immune system requires nutrition. How much does he weigh? Do you know?
He's lost quite a bit, so he's at about 140.
140. Okay. So, but he's got bladder cancer, right?
Yes.
Does he have anything else that you know of? Any like diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, or arthritis?
No, just the bladder cancer.
Okay. So he needs to get rid of all the bad foods, things that drive cancer. Okay, get rid of the bad foods. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, bran, oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet one's got to go. And then at say 140 to 150 pounds, I'd have him take 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month. They're going to support the immune system, a full dose, everything twice a day. Okay. And then I would also have him take things like
How about the Z radical, Dr. Wallach?
Z radical.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Z radical would be good to support the immune system. Okay, including the bone marrow and all that kind of stuff. Okay, the white blood cells. Thank you. Very good. And so, yeah, that'd be a good thing to add to that. The Z radical. Okay. Yeah, I have some of that every morning. I have a couple of ounces of Z radical every morning and every evening.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
thank you, Dr. Wallach. I appreciate it.
Yeah, well, keep us informed, and we'll put him in our prayers for you.
Okay, thank you. His name is Gary Frank.
Gary. Okay, thank you.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you
you so much. You're welcome, LaTanya. So Dr. Wallach, the immune system gets broken down, and that's when some of these more serious conditions develop. Is that part of what it is? Is it toxicity?
Well,
environment.
it gets overwhelmed, okay, because it's kind of like an army. Let's say you have an army and everybody has an M1 rifle, and you're fighting an army that has atomic bombs. Which one's going to win?
Yeah, not the rifles,
Not the
no matter
rifle.
what caliber
Okay.
they are.
Yeah. And so no
Yeah,
matter if everybody can hit bullseyes every time, it's not going to beat atomic bombs. And so the
no,
same thing is
that's
true here. When it comes to cancer, that is a tough one. Okay. It's very, very difficult to fight cancer. It's not
but
impossible.
it's not impossible.
Not
I'm glad you
impossible.
said that.
Yeah, I said it's not impossible, but it is difficult. And so just to say, oh, well, my doctor is going to give me a anti-cancer injection. Well, that's not quite enough. Okay. I'd
Right.
want a lot more than that. Okay, if you have cancer.
All
So
right.
this is where the book Epigenetics, the book Dead Doctors Don't Lie, the book Let's Play Doctor, these books give you all the options. And
Mm-hmm.
so when you have somebody middle age who has some kind of cancer, and there's, say, from your reading and everything and your research, you find like 16 different options. I would go with at least 4 or 5 of them that are quite different than each other. I wouldn't find 4 of them that are kind of alike. I'd find 4 or 5 or 6 of them that are quite different than each other. Okay, so you're coming at that cancer from all these 4 or 5 or 6 different directions. Okay.
And don't forget the nutritional approach, folks. Cutting out those
Bad
foods that
food
could be causing a breakdown in the cells, that are preventing absorption of the nutrition.
and
So there's a
causes
lot of
cancer.
and the ones that can cause cancer, like those burnt fats that have
Mhm.
acrylamides, and acrylamides have been said to cause cancer, including some of those sweeteners in those
Mhm.
diet drinks. I love the fact that they now have more natural sweeteners that are being used. So they are coming around, Doc, but still not quite there yet. So I do have a comment here in the chat that says, we love you, Dr. Wallach, and thank you for bringing him to us again, Becca. So it's my honor and privilege and pleasure to be able to host Dr. Wallach on our program 2 days a week. He is available on many different platforms throughout the week. So I'm honored that we're able to have him 2 days. Let's go to the next hand that is up. And Verna, go ahead and unmute yourself. And Doc, we do have, 5 or 6 hands up. So I know that you don't have time for all of them, but let's try to help as
Hi,
many people.
Okay. Okay, Vernon.
Hello,
hi,
Verna.
good afternoon, Becca and Dr. Wallach. Good to see you folks. And thank you for
Thank
taking
you.
my question today. I went to my doctor today and I had a blood work done. And one of the things that she told me about was a thing called neutropenia. She said that indicated that the white blood cells were low, the blood count was low. Is that correct, Doc Wallach? And what should I be doing I had a cold about maybe a month ago.
Okay, well, excuse me.
Yes,
What was the sign that the doctor said told her that the white blood cells were low?
neutropenia.
Oh, neutropenia. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't
Neutropenia is a
know if
word
the
that means low.
cold.
Yeah. Okay. Neutrophils happen to be the white blood cells. Okay. So, and this could be something going on with the bone marrow because the bone marrow makes white blood cells. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So how much do you weigh?
And I also lost weight. Today I weighed 100. I did lose 3 pounds when had the cold. So today I weighed 100 pounds. I'm 4'11" and I'm 73 years young.
Okay. Do you have any other issues? Any diabetes, high blood pressure, arthritis?
Well, I'm treating the high blood pressure with niacin and also the ultimate daily
Ultimate Daily Classic. Yeah. Okay. And then,
classic.
okay. Um, let's see here. Do you have anything like tremors? Any shakes? Do you have anything, any buzzing, any tinnitus, ringing in the ears?
No.
Was that a no?
No.
No, okay. All right. So at 100 pounds, get rid of all the bad stuff, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, brown, rye oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. And then at, let's see here, 100 pounds, I'd take one healthy brain and heart pack per month, take a half a dose twice a day. I'd also take the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. I'd take 3 of those twice a day. That's 2 bottles a month to help you support healthy blood flow and blood pressure and all that kind of stuff. But also have you take our I-26. It's going to support brain function, spinal cord function, bone marrow function to help you rebuild more white blood cells. Okay, I-26. Go ahead and take 2 or 3 of that a day. Personally, I like the soft chewables, but we do have the capsules and the powder if you prefer that. Then contact us, every time you go to the doctor and let us know what you're seeing, okay?
Okay, I'll contact you again in March because I'm going to go back and do a retest for the blood to see if there's been any change. So,
okay.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Okay, we appreciate you too. God bless.
God bless.
All right. Thank you, Verna, for that. And let's go right over to TC. TC, go ahead and unmute yourself. Hello, TC. Can we hear you? I show that he's unmuted, but I'm not hearing anything from TC. So let's go right over to AJ. AJ, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hello, Dr. Wallach. How are you?
Okay, sir. How can we help?
Fantastic to see you. You're the man. And you know you're the man. We have a question about a 14-and-a-half-year-old gray tabby cat that weighs 14 pounds, a little bit of gray hair, eaten grain-free food all his life and uses the Dynovite and the Carnivora, and has a cancerous lipoma under his shoulder. Nothing seems to help it. They want to try and shrink the lipoma. They're wondering about Arthrodex and its potential help for that, and they're looking for some help, Doc.
Okay, well, yeah, Arthrodex. Also, it would be useful to put the plant-derived minerals in the drinking water, 1 ounce of the plant-derived colloidal minerals, say, into a pint of water, and let the cat drink that water instead of just tap water, okay? Support the immune system. Those minerals do miracle things. And I think let's start there.
Should we give some EFAs to this cat?
Yeah, the EFAs are essential nutrients. Okay, we do have the EFAs, we have the EFA pluses. So either one will work. You can take 2 or 3 of those a day, puncture them, squirt the liquid on his food. But they're good. They're good for the immune system. They're good for the bone marrow. They're good for the cell walls of all cells in the body, including the brain and so forth. And
thank you very much, Doc.
thank you, AJ.
All right. Thank you, AJ. And let's go to Ivory. Ivory, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I had a question about I have Parkinson's disease and I have night terrors. In fact, I just got out of the hospital. I got up in the middle of the night dreaming, but thought it was real, and I ran into furniture, which knocked me flat on my back on another piece of furniture, and I have fractures now. So is there any advice that you can give me for the prevention of these night terrors?
Okay, how much do you weigh?
I weigh 115 pounds.
And how old are you?
I'm 64 years old today.
Congratulations.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Do you have any other issues, other than the fractures? Do you have any other issues like diabetes, high blood pressure, arthritis?
No, I have osteoporosis.
Ah, okay, osteoporosis. Okay, So none of the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no gluten, no wheat, bar, rye, oats, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. So even the diet one's got to go. And then let's see here, at 115 pounds, I want you to take one healthy brain and heart pack per month. Take a half a dose of everything twice a day. I also want you to take our I-26. I want you to take 3 of those chewables twice a day, or 2-3 times a day. Okay. And we do have, I like the French vanilla, but they also come in, what is it?
Banana coconut.
Banana coconut. Okay, thank you. Banana coconut. We also
What
have
was that called again? What was it called?
I-26.
I-26.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
And that will help you. Remember, Parkinson's disease is a simple nutritional deficiency, and it's deficient in the myelin, the white matter. Okay. And so you're, one of these diagnoses, there's 90,000 new cases a year right now of Parkinson's disease, 90,000 new cases a year in America alone. Okay. But this is
Wow.
easily reversed with the I-26. That's why I want you to take at least 3 twice a day. Okay. It'll rebuild your brain and spinal cord and all the big nerves like the 10th cranial nerve and so forth. And this is a reversible disease. We're starting to see more and more of them. And this, please keep in touch with us, because we're going to come out with a big book on this whole thing between Parkinson's disease and MS and all those things, and CWD in deer. Okay. And so this is a great story. This is one of those stories where, like, birth defects are not genetic. Okay. So this will be a great one.
All right. Thank you so much for that. And Ivory, happy birthday. So I hope this was some great news for you on your birthday, and you're in our thoughts, prayers. Please make sure that you check back with us, get back with the person that shared this program with you, and allow them to help you get the needed raw ingredients that have been put together in the longevity formulas, specifically based on Dr. Wallach's
Especially I-26 here.
and yeah, absolutely. Well, the I-26 is not the only things that she needs, though, Dr.
She needs the
Wallach.
90 essential nutrients.
That's right. So the 90 essential nutrients, and yeah, get back with the person and share this program with you. And folks, if there is no one to thank, feel free to go to our website, DailywithDoc.com, and you can request a coach there. Just go to contact, or if you have questions, by popular request, we have come up with an email that you can email questions@DailywithDoc.com. And actually, the cat question was the first question that we received on that email. So super excited for that. Dr. Wallach, before we go, one last question is, what is the right amount of butter to have per day, and can you have too much?
You can have too much water. Okay, so you can have too much butter. I like, and I take probably 2 slices a day of butter, maybe 1/8 of an inch thick of a stick of butter. Just not the length of it, the width. Okay. And so I take 2 of those slices maybe twice a day. Okay, with 2 at breakfast and 2 at dinner time. And butter's been around a long time. Okay. And
so what is good about butter, Dr. Wallach?
okay, well, butter is a fat. It has the essential fatty acids in it. It also carries fat soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K, and those kind of things. They have those in there because they were for the baby cow. Okay. This was milk and butter we buy in the store was made for the baby cows and the baby sheep and the baby pigs and all that kind of stuff. So we're getting those nutrients that the cow put in there for her babies.
Okay, and so those nutrients, would they be beneficial for us as well?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, vitamin A that the cow is using is the same vitamin A as we're using. And in the old days, 2,000 years ago, we didn't have refrigeration. Okay, so you could milk a cow and make butter, and put it in the shade, and that butter would last maybe a couple of days or a week or something like that, and you could use it and get vitamin A and vitamin D. Even in the wintertime when the sun wasn't out, you could get vitamin D from the butter. Okay, and so it goes back to one of our foods, sources of nutritional vitamins going back thousands of years ago. And so since it was so good to us, we can't forget our friend butter.
No, let's not forget their friend butter. And it tastes so much better than other alternatives, folks. And it's much, much healthier and more natural.
Yeah,
And
much
yeah,
healthier than margarine. Yeah.
absolutely. Well, Dr. Wallach, we are at the end of our time with you. I just want to do a huge shout out and thank you to you. And we had so many questions. We still have hands up. We've got questions that came in the chat. Please go to questions or send in email questions at dailywithdoc.com, and we will get answers back to you as a reply to the email. For those that are a little different than the normal questions, we'll make sure that we get them here on Daily with Doc, as we are here Wednesdays and Thursdays with Dr. Wallach himself, Fridays with Pharmacist Ben and Pharmacist Fridays. And just to let everybody know, we are going to be having another special session with Pharmacist Ben Monday at 6 p.m. So if you're in the health field and interested in adding another income stream, or if you're a health enthusiast or just care about people and want to be able to get a thank you check for sharing a message of hope just by recommending nutritional products that work and Dr. Wallach's research, we would like to invite you to our special session with Pharmacist Ben, from beginner to boss, in being able to build your own business as a longevity distributor. So that is going to be Monday, 6 p.m. Make sure that you go to purpose.dailywithdoc.com, register for that event, and you will receive an email with the information that then allows you and invites you to our presentation. So that's purpose.dailywithdoc.com. Dr. Wallach, thank you again.
Well, thank you for all your support, and thank you, AJ, and everybody else on the team. I know we have a big crew, and we can't thank them enough for putting this together. We're a family. Our goal is to help the world, and I think we're doing a great job. We just need to keep going.
You know, we really do. We need to just keep going. There we go. Thank you. Somebody got on Albert, and who's down in South Africa, who just got his certified holistic health coach certificate and t-shirt. So excited to see that today, as he presented it as in our early getting ready for it. So folks, as a certified holistic health coach, you learn about the 4 areas of health, how they're affected by nutritional deficiencies. Because like I said earlier, there's over 600 different poor health conditions or symptoms that are caused, their underlying cause, because of a nutritional deficiency. And he is one of our newest graduates from the Institute, which we have on the screen with us additional certified holistic health coaches as well, with Marilyn, who is lovingly called Fingers, because she does such a great job with dictation here in the Zoom, putting that information in the chat so others can see it, not just hear it, but read it and then take screenshots of the information that Dr. Wallach shares. We have Sherry, as you can see over her left shoulder there, is her certificate of being a certified holistic health coach that she has added to her other certificates of similar organizations where she is a certified health coach from multiple different locations. And she is helping with the tech side of our program and letting people in, watching all the different platforms and helping us get the live stream going. We have AJ, another certified holistic health coach, who has been very responsible in helping us get this program on all the different platforms. I could not have done it by myself. I started, but he's been able to carry that torch and make it even brighter. So I just want to thank him for all that he's done. I know we have some other coaches that are on with us as well, and we just want to give you a shout out to all of you who have taken the time and invested in yourself to get the knowledge needed so that you can help others. There's no greater purpose than being able to help somebody find hope when nobody else has given them hope. My name is Becca Dukes. Thank you so much for joining us here on Daily with Doc. We will see you again next time. Bye for now.
Everybody, thank you for everything.
Thank you, Dr. Wallach.